everybody, and welcome back to part 2 of this series that I've created that I've decided to call Johnny Depp is Innocent because that is the hashtag on Twitter. In today's video, I want to focus on the photos that Amber Heard put out of her bruised face that she claims Johnny did to her, and I mainly don't really want to talk about what Johnny says happened in that event today because that could be a whole separate video. But what I do want to talk about is how inconsistent the photos are and just how wrong they are and how you can't apply any logic to them whatsoever in terms of them being bruises or any form of injury to her eyes. Before I do that though, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for their wonderful reactions to my last video. I was expecting more negative feedback, but all of your positive feedback was so nice. Thank you so much to everyone. Immediately people were like, go make more videos, and I'm sorry that I couldn't because there were literally people hammering and drilling outside of my window for the past 3 days, and it's been really annoying. Anyway, let's get into this. I will be looking at the photos of Amber on my cell phone. I have them saved here, and I will also be putting them in the video so you can see them too. I first wanted to start off with this photo right here. Now this photo is the photo that Amber says was taken on May 21st, right after Johnny Depp threw a cell phone at her. And you can see the bruise has a straight line like this and curves around her eye like that. I don't know about you, but if you were to throw a cell phone at somebody, I don't think it would hit their face exactly like this. And I don't think that it is physically possible for a phone to bend around your eye like that as if it were a perfect rectangle and, you know, just form like a perfect square like that. But let's say it did. And let's say that bruise is 100% real, and, you know, I'll get into the whole coloration and swelling thing in a bit. But let's say that bruise is 100% real and the phone did hit her like that, whatever. 6 days later, she is seen exiting from court with this photo. The bruise in this photo is on her face here. Now, my question is, how did a bruise that was an L shape here suddenly go from here to here in 6 days without any color change at all and looks totally different? It's just not possible. Right away there you should see with any sort of logic that that's one of those bruises is completely not real. Could be both of them are not real. Or the photo that she took in her house of the square bruise that she says is from a cell phone, it could have been months before this court thing happened. Now also I do want to point out, in the picture of her walking out of court, the bruise doesn't even look like a bruise. It looks like a little pimple that she scratched at or just got infected even. It doesn't look like a real bruise. Many people who lived in the same apartment building as Amber while this was going on said that they saw her. She didn't have any makeup on because who walks around their apartment building with makeup on unless they're going out? But they said they saw her. She didn't have any bruises or marks on her face at all. That she was completely fine. The police who came to her house right after she says the phone hit her face said that she had no marks on her face. So clearly that bruise is not from a cell phone being thrown at her and might not even be a real bruise at all. Inconsistency is with this other photo. There are several photos here. There is this one, and then there is this one. In this one, for some reason there's a filter over it, which is a little bit suspicious, like an Instagram filter. Like, this is not the natural coloring of that room at all. There's no way. I think there is a version where the filter's not on it, but again, I don't know why she would put a filter over it in the first place. Like, is she trying to make it look more dramatic? I don't know why she would need to do that. If it's already a photo of abuse, you don't need to put a filter over it to make it look more dramatic. And in the second photo, something I want to point out is they look like they're taken around the same time. However, in the photo that got put on the cover of People magazine, you see that seems to be taken in a sort of photo shoot type setting. There's many pictures like this, actually. There's also, these are side by side. This one, she seems to be in some sort of photo shoot. So I don't know why she would play around with the lighting, get a whole backdrop, like a black backdrop, just to take pictures of her bruises that supposedly she got from Johnny punching her around, or I don't know what she said exactly that he did, but why would she set up a whole photo shoot for that? That seems a little weird. Photos, I think, were supposed to be around the same time. They both have the same little mark here, but this photo, her lip is busted. This photo, her lip is not busted. So either she busted her lip after she took the first photo of her in her bathroom, somehow was able to magically heal this split open lip from when she took this photo to this photo. So I don't know. That, again, is a very weird timeline. They could be taken at totally different times, but again, I don't know why you would have the exact same mark under your eye for both photos. That would be a bit weird. Maybe she wants to say that, oh, Johnny busted her lip sometime in between when those two photos were taken, but she only said that he busted her lip open one time, and I think that if he were to do that multiple times, then she would put that in multiple times in her testimony. That would make sense. So that's another inconsistent thing that I've noticed. Now, the main thing I want to talk about, though, is the fact that the bruises around her eye especially don't look like real bruises at all, and many people have noticed this, like they don't look real. And the reason they don't look real is because many people have seen what a black eye is supposed to look like. Now, I did some research on this. The skin around your eyes is extremely thin and extremely loose. That is why when you hit your eye, it immediately swells up with fluid and gets very swollen, and you can, like, right away see a bruise. Me and Amber both have the same complexion of very, very pale, almost translucent skin, especially me, because I actually have anemia, so my skin is very translucent anyway. You could actually, like, see the veins on my face there. For example, if I were to just scratch my arm like that, and I will cut the video for when it actually turns up, but it should take, like, maybe 30 seconds. Now, you can't really see it with the lighting, but right away, you kind of see it. Right away, there is red marks there from me just scratching it, because that's how pale her skin is. So, if a phone were to hit her in the face, it wouldn't be like this very, very almost hard to see little red mark. It would be a bruise, and it would be swollen. And I also know for a fact I've been hit in this eye in particular 3 times, like major times I can remember. The first time a seatbelt hit me in the face, I was like 5 years old, and we were on our way to the doctor because I had the flu, and it hit me in the face, and my doctor actually had to look at it to, like, make sure that I didn't have any, like, lasting damage or fractures in my skull. I don't remember what that looked like because I was really little. The second time, I fell and hit my head on a table, and there's still a scar there, you can't really see it, but it bled, and it was purple and also, like, swelled. And you could see that it's swollen and bleeding, and my mom, like, freaked out when she saw it for me just literally falling and hitting my head on a table. And the third time was the worst, when I fell and hit my head on a table again, but, like, a very sharp edge of a table. And I got an actual, like, black eye, and it was purple and green and swollen. It almost swelled shut. And it lasted for about 2 weeks before it looked normal again. So, a normal black eye, if you were to get hit by something, lasts roughly 2 weeks. She got hit with the phone on May 21st, and we see her again on May 27th, and there's nothing there. Explain to me how your eye is able to heal that quickly. It's not. That's not physically possible unless you're, like, some sort of miracle worker, and you just drained all the fluid out with, like, a needle or something. Even then, there would still be a bruise. There would still be some sort of discoloration. Also, it would not be that like pale red, as if like I said, look, scratch my arm like that. That was the color of the bruise on her face. It would not be that color. It would be a literal bruise. And I know this because, and if I could find the photos, because I think I deleted them, but my brother, I think over Christmas break, when I last saw him, he was in a bad mood, and I was like kind of teasing him, and he took a phone and threw it at me, and it hit right here on my thumb, and within 10 minutes it was already starting to bruise. And your thumb, the skin on your thumb is a lot thicker than the skin on your eye, so if something hits your thumb and it bruises within 30 minutes, because it was purple within 30 minutes, and I kept taking pictures of it, and I was going to continue doing it for a couple weeks, but I kind of forgot about it because I had to come back to school and there was a lot happening. But I do have pictures over the course of like a day, and it bruised within 30 minutes. It was purple. If she were to get hit in the face, it would be purple and there would be a bruise there, especially by the time the police got there. And the police who did get there within, I guess, like maybe an hour, said that they saw nothing. There was no marks on her face at all. So where did these marks suddenly come from? And if they were to appear like that, like several days later, they would be purple. They wouldn't be red. They would be purple. They would be blue, brown, even turning green at that point. They would not still be red as if she had just scratched her face, or if someone had just like slapped her. Those pictures were really taken then. And if they were taken the night of the incident, how come the police didn't notice that? The police don't lie like that. I mean, really. They even offered to have him arrested, and she refused. That is the second piece of evidence people tend to use as to arguing their case that Amber is innocent. And there's me debunking it, saying that here is some logic and common sense and scientific facts that prove that there is no way that a bruise would look like that, like several days after she got it, and there's no way that it would move around her face like that. So clearly something's off, and she, you could say maybe it's all these other incidences, but then how come Amber is saying it's not? She's saying it's this day, and then all of a sudden it's this day, and like it's just very, very inconsistent. First thing you notice when someone is lying is when their story just doesn't add up, and how inconsistent it is, and how wrong it is, and how it doesn't make any sense, and how photographic evidence that they're submitting does not match the story they're telling at all. It's like they're trying to make it match, but then they realize that it doesn't match. It's me debunking argument number 2. I hope you guys like this video too. I did do lots of research into it, trying to figure out stuff about bruises. I was really curious about why those pictures look so weird, and that is why. They don't look real at all, because they're just inconsistent and nothing adds up with them. You can void those pictures out of the argument. So now we have the videos out of the argument, the pictures are out of the argument. The only thing you have left is Amber Heard's word, which also doesn't make any sense when you compare it to Johnny's version of the story, which we will get into in another video. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to be my next video. I think my next video I'm probably going to make is going to be responding to all of the current hate on Twitter and YouTube and everywhere towards J.K. Rowling, because she is my favorite person to ever exist. And seeing the internet bash her for really stupid reasons just kind of drives me insane, and I really hate it. And I don't know if that's going to be my next video or if I will continue this series. I want to put up as many videos about Johnny Depp as I can before February 22nd, which, if you don't know, is the day that Johnny is going to go to court to sue the Sun newspaper for calling him a wife beater. So, yay! Good job, Johnny. I'm very proud of that. Just want to say. So yeah, that's going to be another video that I do. I might also just try to put like a positive video out there that's less like focusing on all of this like ridiculous drama and stupidity that's being pushed out by the media right now. And I might just sit and talk about some of the crazy things that happened to me last year, because there was a lot of crazy stuff, crazy fun stuff. So I might do some story time videos because I like telling stories. So yeah, anyway, share this video all you want, if you want to, if you agreed with me at all. So yeah, thank you for watching. Peace.